So guys, this is the course that, really sort of has done very well, and got over 1,000 students there now with 190 ratings. And you can see some of the social proof there of other students that have done the course. And I'm just really thrilled to be able to make that available to you all today for free. So I'm going to pop the link into the chat, and that'll be available for you to enroll with absolutely zero cost to yourself for the next 3 days. And once you've enrolled in there, you'll always have access to that content. There's engaging lessons in there. There's a couple of whiteboard lessons in there. There's a couple of activities. I reinforce what you've learned today so that you can go back to it and in your own time, go through that and apply that to your own writing. And of course, the recording for today is always going to be available in the same link as you used to get onto the session today. Okay, so a couple of comments there from other students. Wow, amazing course, highly recommended, excellent, eye-opener, divine. So thank you very much for all of that there. And then really, the course is broken up into 2 main sections, just to show you what you're going to get. We start off with principles, and I talked there about writing and thinking. We mentioned that just now. And then also, writing early versus writing late, the golden thread principle. And I explained there how you take a reader on a journey, drafting a research report. We touched on a couple of those today as well. Abstract patterns. We spoke about how you need to tell your reader up front in the abstract what they're even going to get before they go into the final report. You should be able to read that abstract and not actually have to read the final report, which is a bit galling for all of us that have put so much effort into those final reports. You don't keep academic readers in suspense. So there's principles there for you to go through in the course. And then the practices, some of which we've touched today already: old before new, complexity last, making sure your actions and verbs are not nominalized, and then this idea of abstract subjects. And then I give you a couple of ideas in terms of the level of complexity that you should bring in. And I think that's something that we were talking about, in this webinar. I've seen a couple of questions, just people trying to assess, how complex should I make my writing? So, there's a lesson in that course there for you to get some assistance with that topic. And then, as I mentioned, the 6 Steps to Student Success Masterclass really goes sort of quite comprehensively through a series of steps that you need to take as a student to be successful. And at the very basic level, number 1 there, related to what we're talking about today, is to develop a habit of reading, thinking, and writing. So there's a relationship between all of those 3. And in that course, I teach you how to do that, give you some exercises. So you can see there just everything that one would expect to associate with somebody who has a good habit of reading, thinking, and writing. And that's almost foundational. If you don't get that reading, writing, and thinking habit in place, you are going to struggle as a student. So Jolene, thank you. Absolute pleasure. And I absolutely do offer my time. Best place to find me is in the Facebook group. So pop into the Facebook group, and you can just pop me a DM, and then we can hop onto a call. And I don't charge for those. It keeps me relevant. It keeps me, very much aware of what issues you guys are facing. So I put the link there to the Facebook group, and we're going to talk a little bit just now about what's happening in the Facebook group and the mentors that we've got set up in there, which is really, really, really exciting. If you take action, you'll be able to change the way you study. You'll be able to change your level of confidence. You'll be able to reduce the amount of stress that you have in your life, and you'll be able to, succeed with a greater level of confidence. And we don't want you dropping out. We don't want you struggling through your academic journey. That's exactly what we're all about here at the Student Success Coach, is to get you through your degrees, to keep you focused, to keep you motivated. And one of the fantastic things that we've got available at the moment is the podcast. So every week I release interviews with students and academic leaders just to inspire you and show you the way, and give you their stories so that you can learn from them. And this is, as I promised, just a little bit of what's happening in our group at the moment. So Cara got her actual certificate, and she shared her graduate gowns. So we celebrated with Cara in the Facebook group. And then Fleur also put just a fantastic sort of little word cloud there in the form of a brain. Just a little post to show his support, his fellow graduate students. Even though our brain looks like this, sometimes we can do this. So thanks, Fleur and Cara, for your posts in the Facebook group. Really just wonderful to see the success that our students are achieving and the benefit they're getting from courses and content. like this. And as Moretlo asks, can I watch this at a later stage? Absolutely, yes, you can. The link is there. And in the Facebook group, what I do is once I've added all the new members that join us in each of the webinars, I then put the recording, I share my slides. All my slides are in there, links to any references and material that we've spoken about. There's a couple of books that I've referenced today. You'll have seen those on some of the slides. I'll put links to those books in there as well, so that you can, get absolutely everything that you need to right inside the Facebook group. That's the best place really to come in to experience and get the most amount of value from everything that we make available on the Student Success Coach. And of course, there's a mailing list. So I want to put the link in the chat there. You can go and sign up there, and I do, make my courses and content and updates and sort of newsletters available through the mailing list.